There are now a total of 55 hypercharges in the game right now, which means most brawlers in Brawl Stars have access to a hypercharge. So in today's video, we're going to be ranking them all from the worst to the best hypercharges. Also, did you guys know that Brawl Stars today, they teased Mandy's hypercharge in an unlisted video? That's gotta be crazy because Mandy has one of the strongest supers in the game. Add in a hypercharge, that's gonna be crazy to think about how broken that's gonna be. So let's start off with the 1-star hypercharges, the worst in the game. So if you guys have coins, I recommend avoiding buying these because they're gonna offer very little value. We have Charlie, Jean, Pearl, Sprout, Daryl, Miko, Brock, and 8-Bit. Guys, all of these hypercharges are bad because they don't offer much value. For example, Charlie's hypercharge takes so long to charge and only spawns 3 spiders. Pearl's hypercharge, it kind of backfires because he pushes the enemy back from his super, which is crazy. Sprout's hypercharge, oh my goodness, does so little impact because you actually need to drop his super on top of a target to deal damage. Daryl's hypercharge just tickles the enemy and doesn't even charge his super much. Brock's hypercharge actually reduces the damage of his super. So yeah, avoid these hypercharges, guys. Next, let's move on to the 2-star hypercharges. These hypercharges are a little better, but overall, they are still below average in terms of how much value a hypercharge can give you. We have Belle, El Primo, Shelly, Ems, Angelo, Poco, Squeak, and Nanny. So all of these hypercharges, like I said, they're not bad. It's just they don't offer that great value. For example, Belle's hypercharge, it's gonna home in her super, so you're not gonna miss it. But if you have good aim with her super, you don't really need that homing ability, right? A brawler like Angelo's hypercharge, his super travels with him, and that can be pretty OP. But then it takes so long to charge that hypercharge. Most games, you're only gonna get his hypercharge probably once in the entire game. We have Nanny's hypercharge, which is funny because, you know, it makes her Peep's head bigger, but the problem is that also can, you know, backfire. You can hit a wall more likely because of that. On top of that, getting that boost with her Nanny's speed and damage, a lot of times you don't get to use her speed because you're sitting still when you're using her super, right? So a lot of these reasons is a big reason why these hypercharges aren't that great. They're still below average, guys. Now, moving on to the 3-star hypercharges. These are the mid-tier hypercharges, very balanced, offer great value, especially for the brawlers that need it, such as Bull, Colt, Buzz, Jackie, Maisie, BB, Rosa, Spike, Tick, Hyper, Otis, Ruffs, and Barry. Guys, a lot of these hypercharges are pretty good for these brawlers. Brawlers like Bull, he needs that hypercharge, that additional speed, that additional shield. It's what makes him so good. And then Colt as well. Colt with his hypercharge, you're not gonna miss his super with it if you just auto aim it with his hypercharge. So that can be very deadly. Buzz's hypercharge gives him additional mobility, can travel from one segment of a map to the other, which is pretty crazy. Jackie really needs her hypercharge as well, that additional speed, so that she can get up close to the enemy to take them out. Maisie's hypercharge is great with her super, especially with the additional speed again that allows her to get near enemies for her super to deal massive impact. BB's hypercharge can be super deadly on bushy maps. So as you can see, a lot of these hypercharges are actually very good, but they're not dominant or broken enough to be classified in the 4 stars and 5 stars that we're gonna mention soon. Those hypercharges offer even greater value, guys. We also got to talk about Barry's new hypercharge. I feel like it's actually quite underrated. I have it at 3 stars, but you know, thinking about it, it might actually be 4 stars, and pros can argue even 5 stars. That hypercharge is very easy to charge because you can charge it by healing yourself and your teammates with Barry's basic attack. So because of that, you can get it pretty quickly and you can heal massive amount or even deal additional damage with Barry's basic attack. Next, moving on to the 4-star hypercharges. These are very deadly hypercharges, guys, that offer really good value. We have Cordelius, Fang, Jesse, Nita, Tara, Edgar, Colette, Barley, Crow, Gale, Stu, Gray, Eve, Janet, and Melody. Guys, a lot of the newest hypercharges, such as Melodie's hypercharge, is so broken on a game mode like Heist. She can just go across the map and with 6 orbits around her can destroy that safe very quickly. We got Janet's hypercharge, which is actually very broken on a game mode like Gem Grab. She can get on top of an enemy, get her super back with that additional damage, destroy the gem carrier, take the gem, and fly away. It's very broken. And then we've got Eve's hypercharge, which is also really good because now Eve becomes even better on those water maps like Canal Grande, Safe Zone, Bridge Too Far, where she can drop her eggs with a hypercharge, continuously spawn more eggs, eat up all the ammo of single target brawlers, guys. Eve is a great counter to single target brawlers. Brawlers like Piper, Bee, Colette, all of these brawlers that have one attack per ammo. And then you got Gray's new hypercharge as well. 4 portals on the map is just crazy, especially on control game modes like Gem Grab and Hot Zone. Even on Brawl Ball for the additional ability to go from one area to the other area, the mobility. There's so much plays that you can do with Gray. He's one of the best brawlers in competitive right now. And then we've got Stu's hypercharge, of course. The mobility with it is just crazy, especially if you combine it with Gaslight Heal. You got infinite heal basically. And then other hypercharges for brawlers like Fang. Fang is not really meta right now, but his hypercharge is so strong. The ability to go through the walls, deal additional damage, combined with his fresh kick star power, it's definitely 4 stars. Same with Terra's hypercharge super. It's so strong because that pull is better, and then she destroys terrain, walls more effectively, so she can pull in 3 targets a lot easier with that hypercharge. Of course, Colette's hypercharge does insane amounts of damage on the high save. We got Edgar's hypercharge that also allows him to chain multiple supers at a time. It's just so powerful. And then you have defensive hypercharges like Gale's hypercharge that can be used for insane defense, go through the wall, deal additional damage. All of these hypercharges offer so much value. Cordelius's hypercharge guarantees you a kill. You can get any kill you want. Hypercharge, slow them down in the Shadow Realm. They become an easy kill, with Cordelius also getting boosted damage. Now we got to talk about the best of the best, the upper echelon of hypercharges. We have Dynamite, Rico, Frank, Leon, Lou, Sandy, Mortis, Surge, Max, Penny, and Ash's new hypercharge. Guys, Ash's new hypercharge is crazy. It's so broken because he charges it very fast. On top of that, when he's raged up, he gets a speed boost and a damage boost, of course. But not just that, when he uses hypercharge, he gets even more speed. He gets even more power. Makes him one of the best tanks in the entire game. A nightmare matchup for so many brawlers, especially brawlers that struggle against tanks and struggle against spawners, because he spawns double the rats with his hypercharge. So those single target brawlers are gonna struggle so much. We got Penny's hypercharge. The double shot from the mortar is so oppressive. It can be very hard to deal with if you and your team doesn't have wall breakers or throwers to quickly remove that mortar, because that turret does so much damage, guys. And then you got Max's hypercharge, increases the charge rate of all your teammates, gets them closer to their hypercharge. So broken. Surge's hypercharge, of course, stage 3 is uncounterable because you have no way to juke or dodge that one. You got Morris's hypercharge, so deadly, double the damage, double the heal, makes him one of the craziest brawlers to deal with in late game. You got Sandy's hypercharge. Not only does he conceal you and your teammates, that speed boost, and then he also mutes the enemy for a bit. You got Lou's hypercharge, freezes everyone instantly in that super, just so broken, and he charges it very quickly as well. Leon's hypercharge. Now, Leon is not a meta brawler at the moment. He's pretty weak in this current meta, but his hypercharge is still broken. The ability to shoot while he's invisible allows him to chain supers effectively, makes him a menace to deal with if the other team doesn't have suitable counters. You got Frank's hypercharge. One of the biggest reasons why Frank is so broken still is because of how quickly he charges his hypercharge, especially with that tank ability. Even when he's taking damage, he's charging his hypercharge. That hypercharge engulfs such a large radius in the map and is so hard to deal with. You got Rico's hypercharge, which is also quite uncounterable because those balls, they have infinite range. It feels like they're gonna bounce everywhere on the map, and he's so oppressive on so many maps that he's so dominant in, like Hard Rock Mine, Center Stage, Pinball Dream, Sneaky Field, and we can just go on and on how many maps Rico is dominating in this meta. And then of course we can't forget about Dynamite's hypercharge, the ability to deal mass amount of damage but also sprinkle in mini dynamites that also charge his super, so he can constantly cycle multiple supers at a time for easy team wipes. He's so powerful on wall maps as well. So there you guys have it, the complete ranking breakdown of the best and worst hypercharges in the game. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a comment and of course also like the video and subscribe. But let me know in the comments below which hypercharges you guys feel like might be underrated. In my opinion, like I said, I think Barry's hypercharge might be pretty underrated. Barry's actually a very underrated brawler right now in the meta. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.